Hi friends, welcome back to Diksuchi. In this video, we talk about investment decision. The first step what an investor has to do is an investment decision. In the sense, the investor has several alternatives, several options in which he would like to invest in. But all options are not feasible for him to be invested. Depending on the amount, depending on the project, the investor has to take a decision in which project he has to invest. For that, the individual or the investor will apply several techniques so that he can identify one or two investments which are feasible to him for the investment, which are acceptable by him for the investment. So, in this, he may apply several techniques. So, as per financial management, these are the general techniques which were discussed by the financial experts. If you consider the evaluation techniques can be classified into two ways. One is traditional techniques, the other one is discounted cash flow techniques. One is traditional techniques, the other one is discounted cash flow techniques. When come for traditional techniques, these were the techniques applied without any changes in the cash flows. Whereas discounted cash flow techniques, these techniques consider the present value of the cash flows. That is a major difference between the traditional techniques and discounted cash flow techniques. Now, if you talk about the traditional techniques, under this we have two types of techniques. One is average rate of return, the other one is payback method. Under discounted cash flow techniques, one is net present value, internal rate of return, profitability index. In addition to these three, there are other few techniques which are applied using discounted cash flow. Under discounted cash flow techniques are, one is net terminal value, that is net terminal value, and discounted payback method. These are the additional two techniques which can be considered under discounted cash flow techniques when you want to evaluate the investments available for an investor. In this video, let us start with average rate of return. Let me use an Excel sheet to explain this average rate of return. Now, see, this is a simple example, that is initial investment, that is zeroth year. Let us assume that there are two projects are available, project A and project B. Project A requires 2 lakhs of initial investment. Project B also requires the initial investment of 2 lakhs. But the cash flows generated during its tenure. Let us assume that the project has 5 years of tenure. First year, the project A is generating 30,000, second year 40,000, third year 50,000, fourth year 60,000, fifth year 70,000. But at the end of the fifth year, it is going to generate 2,50,000, which is more than your initial investment. So, if you see only the cash flows, you can see that the project is worthy for investment. Even if you consider there is a project B, which is generating the equal inflows, that is 50,000 in each year till 5 years. So, here also if you see, the total investment is 2,50,000. Now, the investor would like to invest only in one machine project. He is having only 2 lakhs of rupees. Then, which project should be selected? Though the outcome, the cash inflow is same for both the projects, but cash flow after taxes are varying from year to year in both. Now, in this situation, the investor can take a decision by applying the techniques which is worth for his investment. Those techniques, as I told you, it can be ARR, PB, NPV, IRR, and PI. So let us see the average rate of return first. Let me write here average rate of return. So what is average rate of return? So first we'll see the formula for it. The average rate of return is also known as accounting rate of return because the cash flows are taken into consideration based on the accounting information. The formula is average annual profit after tax divided by average investment over the life of the project into 100. Now, how to calculate the numerator and denominator of this formula? When come for average profits after taxes, the average profits after taxes that can be calculated as total of cash flow after taxes divided by the number of years. Of course, the average means the total divided by the number, right? So same thing you are applying for this ARR for the numerator. When come for the denominator, average investment, that is net investment divided by 2, 1 and divided by the number. So this is one formula. There is also another way how you calculate the average investment. Which formula you are going to use depends on the data provided to you or data available to you. So if average investment wanted to be calculated by using working capital, for example, if they have also mentioned the net working capital and the salvage value, then you can apply this formula. That is net working capital plus salvage value plus half into initial cost of the machine or the project, initial cost of the project minus salvage value. So as you know, the net working capital is current assets minus current liabilities, and salvage value is scrap value. This is related to the denominator under ARR. So this is a numerator, right? The average profits after taxes, that is common, that is total of all cash flow after taxes divided by number of years. And the denominator is either you can calculate net investment by 2 if at all they don't give any net working capital or salvage value. If they give net working capital and salvage value, then average investment will be net working capital plus salvage value plus half into initial cost of the project minus salvage value. So by applying the data, whatever they have provided to you, you are going to get the numerator and the denominator. So these values you are applying in ARR formula, and finally you are able to get what exactly the average rate of return for the given projects, based on which you are going to select the project. Now let us calculate this ARR by using the Excel. This is a problem what we were discussing earlier, right? Now, let us use this data and calculate average rate of return. Now, let us calculate the ARR for project A. Okay. So, if we recollect the formula, what is our formula? We need to calculate the average cash inflows and the average investment, right? Now, what is average cash inflow? That is, we are taking the total divided by the duration of the project. The duration of the project is 5 years, right? So we are writing 5 days. So average cash inflow is 50,000 of project A. Now we have to calculate the average investment. How do you calculate average investment? That is your investment divided by 2. Because they have not given any net working capital and salvage value, so we have to just divide the investment by 2. So our investment is 2 lakhs, right, divided by 2. So I'm writing this in terms of formula here, then I can get the value as 1 lakh. Now I'm going to calculate this ARR for project A, that is the average cash inflow, right? The average cash inflow divided by the average investment into, so let me put this in the bracket so that the 100 can be multiplied directly with it. Okay. So our average rate of return is 50. This is for project A. Now let us calculate average rate of return for project B. Okay. So let me write here project B. Fine. Now, same way we need to calculate now average cash inflow. How will you take average cash inflows? The total cash inflow divided by the duration. What is the duration? 5. So we are writing 5, right? Then average investment. The denominator is average investment. So what is average investment? Your initial investment divided by 2. So as you know, the investment is same for both the projects. Let us copy the same thing here. You need not to do any additional work over here. Directly we are taking it. That is 1 lakh. Now we are going to calculate average rate of return. So what is the formula for average rate of return? The numerator divided by the denominator. Right? So for this also you got the same answer. That is ARR is equal to 50. So it is a discretion of the investor. Whatever the project he would like to invest, he can invest. Both the projects are giving him the same kind of ARR. Okay, this is a general process how we can do it. Now, under ARR, let us assume they have given net working capital. Okay, so net working capital, let us assume it is some 10,000. Okay, they are also given the scrap value. Scrap value, let us assume some 3,000 for project A. Okay. Same way, let us take the project B, net working capital. Let us assume it is 12,000. Okay. Salvage value, let us take it as some 4,000. Okay. This is a problem. So, if there were no net working capital and scrap value, this was a procedure what we have applied. Now they have given some salvage value. Sorry, no, salvage value and the net working capital. Then how we are going to calculate it? So there is no change in the numerator, right? So let me show you the formula. This is our formula. Okay. So let me reduce the size. So this is the formula. First average investment is equal to net working capital, right? So net working capital, fine. Here average cash inflow is 5,000 as usual, but here the net working capital is 10,000. I'm writing 10,000. Okay, plus salvage value. What is the salvage value? 3,000, right? Plus, then I need to divide this with half, right? I need to divide 1 by 2, like I need to multiply with half, open the bracket. Initial cash outlay, that is how much? 2 lakhs minus initial cash outlay in the sense the initial investment minus the salvage value. So the salvage value is 3,000. Salvage value and scrap value are the same. So 10,000 plus 3,000 is 13,000, right? Plus half of 22 lakhs minus 3,000. So let me write 1 by 2 as it is. Then 2 lakhs minus 3,000 is 1,97,000, right? So that is 13,000 plus 1 by 2, 1,97,000, right? So let us calculate 1,97,500 divided by 2 is 98,750. 98,750. Now if you take this 13,000 plus 98,750 plus 13,000 we are adding to it, 1,11,750. Okay. So 1,11,750 is your answer, right? Now you have the numerator, that is cash inflow and average cash inflow, and the denominator average investment, right? So average cash inflow is as usual, there is no change in that, right? Now we are calculating, because we have inserted here formula, it is taking the same thing. Let me write the 50,000 directly. Okay, so now ARR can be calculated as the numerator, that is 5,000 divided by 1,11,500 into 100. So here we can also multiply with 100. 44.74 average rate of return. So 44% almost you are getting the return on project A. Same thing we calculate for project B. So numerator is same, right? So let me write the numerator as usual. That is 50,000. Now denominator, we are calculating average investment. So first net working capital, that is 12,000 plus the scrap value 4,000 plus 1 by 2, open the bracket, initial working capital. Initial investment. Initial investment is 2 lakhs minus the scrap value is 4,000. Right? Now, how much it is? 12 plus 4 is 16,000 plus 1 by 2, open the bracket, 20,000 minus, 2 lakhs minus 4,000, 1,96,000. Right? So, this is 16,000 and we are adding this 1,96,000 divided by 2, 98,000. Now we are adding this 98,000 with 16,000. Then our value is 1,14,000. Yes, 1,14,000. Now what is your ARR? What is your ARR for project B? It is equals to the numerator of 50,000 divided by the denominator into 100. Right? 43.85. Now, in earlier case, both the project's ARR was same. But in the second case, when the net working capital and scrap value is given, then the ARR of project A is 44.74. For project B, 43.85. Now, which project should be accepted? That is, whichever the higher IRR is going to be invested. So project A is giving more ARR than the project B. So the investor will select the project A to be invested. This is how one technique, the traditional method, what an investor can apply and can take a decision in which to be invested out of available alternatives. This is about ARR. Hope you understand. Thank you for watching the video. In the next video, we discuss about the further techniques. Thank you.